Hola, amigos, and welcome to Keyframers, the animated collaborative coding livestream where we bring imaginative user interfaces to life. I'm your host, Stephen Shaw, but you may know me as @Shashaw, and I'm
And
joined
I'm,
corporeally by this famous voice.
yeah, I'm your host, David Khourshid, and I am invisible.
And together we are coding compadres, animation amigos, Boolean buddies, and keyframe companions.
Yeah, so as always, we'll be creating an animation from scratch live with HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript.
This show
And
is
not my face.
no David face, unfortunately.
No,
I'll have to keep the handsomeness up for all of us. This
exactly.
show and the handsomeness is made possible by your support. You can pledge at patreon.com/keyframers or hit the like and subscribe buttons around the video. Additional
hmm
links are available around the video.
Yeah, we're happy to answer any questions you may have, such as why am I invisible? So please reach out in the chat or comments.
Yes. So first question, where are you, David?
So, just like last time, or this year, last year, this time, man, jet lag. Uh, I am in Finland for a conference, and
Very nice. What
yeah,
conference here?
so I will be talking at React Finland again. This will be the second year in a row.
Nice. Well,
hmm
that's fun.
Yeah.
What are you talking on as your talk public?
So this time, also somewhat related to state machines, but I'm going to be talking about what's known as adaptive user interfaces. And so that's different than what you think of when someone says adaptive layouts or adaptive design, because that's adaptive according to the device or the screen that you're on. You know, having a design for mobile or desktop or tablet. But this is different. Adaptive UIs don't adapt just to the device, they adapt to the user. And so a website or a web app might look different for you, ideally, than it looks for me because it's tailored to my own personal behavior. And
So, like colors you enjoy, or
not even just colors. Like, for example, if you're using Chrome, or I guess the new Edge, when you start typing something in your address bar, you're going to notice that whatever results you get are going to be different than what someone else may get. And that's because the UI is based around your, your browsing history. Um, and also there's things in real life too, like I mean, you could have adaptive UI based on things that you manually control, like you might like a certain position in your car, like in terms of where the seat is, where the
true.
mirrors are, or on a website you might just like some options hidden or some options more prominent because you use them more, for example Photoshop or Illustrator. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds very intriguing. Is it going to be live streamed, or will the video just be available
So
after?
I don't think it'll be live streamed, unfortunately.
Yeah, but they do have the videos after, right?
Yeah, they
I
will
think they
have a
did
video
last
up
year. Yeah.
eventually. hmm
Well, that's cool. So yeah, we'll be sure to share those links when they're available. In case that's anything you're interested in, just follow us on Twitter @keyframers, and
I
we'll.
am interested.
I should hope so. Hope
Yeah.
so. Well, shall we dive into what we're working on?
All right, let's slide on over.
All right. That's a pun that may or may not get based on not knowing what we're doing here. But this is the animation we're working on today. It's a lovely uh, animation entitled "Better Hero" by Gene Ross, and this has a lot of different elements to it. But one of the main things we're going to be focusing on here is this kind of image transition. So we've got that slide in, and then this expansion of the image. That's pretty great. We go over here. I don't know if this is a recent change, but Dribble seems to be serving up actual movie files now and not GIFs. So scrubber is not working, so we've just got QuickTime here.
Yeah, so that was a change I happened about a few months ago, actually. So
that's
I mean, it's nice. It means that you could have more advanced animations
and color.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a cool little expansion here. A lot of other little elements happening, but we'll mainly focus on that that image transition there, and potentially go into the full screen like that into the video. But we'll see how much time we have. What time is it over there, David?
So right now it is 12:15. That is midnight 15.
Nice. Okay. Well, so yeah, we'll try to let you get to bed soon, because I know you're jet lagged.
I don't know what sleep is anymore.
All right. Well, let's hop into the code, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So done a little bit of setup here. I'm gonna take out a little bit of this this code because we don't need that just yet. We'll talk through that as we go. So we're looking at a hero image, this beautiful hero cat. We've just got a figure as hero, an inner wrapper as per usual, and then a hero image of our lovely kitten here. And then not much stylistically happening here. We'll go ahead and do David's favorite styles. I should have these just shortcutted already, but I do not have that snippet set up. And there you go.
Yeah. And you know what? Let's all right, fine. We'll put it there. I always want to do an episode where we don't add that in, and then we see how many times we end up having to type it. But you know what?
My assumption would be 0 to 4.
0 to 4.
Yes. Yes. That is
right.
all. All right. So not much happening with the actual hero yet. And you've got a basic little state machine down here.
Yeah, so this is something that we've used in previous spends. Not exactly a state machine, but we're just going to be playing with the data state attribute at the top, just like we've done in previous episodes. Long story short, we use the data state attribute to tell us what state we're in right now. And so the first one, we're going to, I guess I have to show controls. Oh, that's cool. In Dribbble, you could right click and click show controls, and then you could just
right,
drag.
yes. You don't even have to download the video. You can kind of scrub through right here.
So I'm just going to call our first state small, whatever. Naming doesn't matter. And so we're going to go small to big and maybe add a third one. And so that small state is just going to be when the kitten is nice and small, which is for about the first year of its life.
That's right. All right. So hero image. Let's go ahead and set display block. One thing I'm going to do is go ahead and transition, transform, 0.4 seconds, ease, hero inner, add transition, inherit, and same for hero image, because we're going to need to transition all of these layers to accomplish that effect. We've done something like this before, called a sliding layers technique.
I'll try to find the link. It's somewhere here.
Yeah, we'll get into the specifics of it here.
But first link I'm going to share, if you wanted more information on this technique, I did a write-up of it on Medium, and so that's CSS animations with finite state machines.
Right.
But don't worry about the finite state machine part. Just learn about using data attributes for maintaining state. It's really useful.
Yes. All right, so let's start out with our data state small. So one thing I'm going to do here is hero transform. Ooh, gross. Transform. Translate. 50%. Overflow hidden. Just to be sure here, we don't get any scroll bars. All right, so I'm just moving the box over 50%. Easy enough.
Right, and so you're going to undo that now.
Right, because
well, you know what I mean. You're going to have the. I'm not saying like, get rid of your code. I think so. So the inner is going to move at the same time as the outer.
Right.
But then we also need to censor the kitty because the kitty doesn't like to be on the edge.
Right. So that's what's happening here. And this actually is not exactly what we want, because see how we've still got the image kind of bleeding off the edge here, where I'm gonna do outline solid 1 pixel blue for the app itself. Go ahead and add margin around the app instead, so that you can see where our kind of container ends there. And then reset our margins here. All right, so hero translated over, hero image translated back, but is that what we want? Let's see. That's part of what we want. Let's see. Do we have a transition in place yet? Okay, you're working on that. Great.
Yeah, there will be very, very soon.
All right, so I'll add that in there. Transform. Now, I don't think we want that translated at all, but we're going to see here whenever it's got the state machine in place.
Very soon, very soon.
Yeah.
State. Sorry, dataset.state. Right. So now if you click the lapp, wherever the lapp is, you'll see it go back and forth, I think.
It goes to the large, but not back to small.
Okay.
Oddly enough. Let's see. Yeah, it went to data state undefined.
Oh, hold on. Now read property on of undefined lapp dataset.state, which that should be correct. Machines. So we're going from this state to on events or this console.log. Did I spell something wrong? Hold on. Let's see.
You're doing state.value up here. Does it need to be just state?
Oh, where did I do state.value?
Yeah, up in activate.
Right.
Is that right?
Just state. Okay, and then I have to change that
down there.
Other too. Hey, good catch.
All right.
So
now it's not working at all, which is
cool. Great.
Cool.
This is a nice testament to my thing. See, I was trying to pass an lapp to dataset.state directly here. Hold on. State equals so state.
Gonna log that for us.
Yeah, just states and also activate transition.
So don't you need to?
Whatever. And let's try this. I think okay, so that works. So I was trying to be clever and pass the events directly in there, just because I thought that the event had a type of click, and I guess it doesn't, which is
I don't think so.
Yeah, so that's just me trying to be a little too clever.
No, it does, but
it does, which is very weird.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Were you just passing the event? The whole event?
Okay, I'm a dummy.
Nice.
I'm a dummy, so that's what it is. Cool. So,
all right. Anyway, it's working now. So you can see us transitioning back and forth from large to small. Wow. We did it, David. All done?
All done. Nope, not quite yet.
Yeah. So let's see.
So now we have to add the other things.
Yeah. So one of the things, let's see. So we've got kind of a grid layout happening on the app itself, where there's text beside the image.
Right, and it seems like we could use, actually we could just for now we could use Flexbox for that. So we could go right into that app and right, or do you want to position? No, let's use Flexbox, because what we could do by using Flexbox is we could position absolutes, that element, and it'll make it stay in place, so we could do whatever we want and make it go out of the way, I think. Hopefully that works. We'll find out. If it does, no, it should work.
So one of the things let's see. I was thinking display grid might be better here. Let me see. Just add a bit of text in here. Let's go to details.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Outline, solid pixels, green. Do that as border.
But now the kitty's not going all the way.
Right, because grid column. There we go. And then row 1.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep. Nope.
Grid row 1. Hey, cool.
Cool.
Broke everything.
Everything disappeared. So I think we need to put the actual cat in that grid too.
Well, hero is the cat.
Oh, okay. Here's the cat.
Right. Doesn't he look like a hero? Looks like a hero to me. I can't see him right now, but yeah, look at that beautiful hero. So grid column 1, -1 means it should be spanning from the first to the last.
Try it again. No.
Okay, let's
Where'd the cat go?
Oh, grid template rows. Let's just make sure that it's not auto rowing.
Yeah.
Nope. Column 1, -1. Let's take off our transforms just to see what's happening. Nothing.
Interesting.
Overflow hidden.
Anyone in the chat could help us out with our grid problems.
Okay.
But
grid.
All right, so taking a deeper look at this, we have grid template columns 1FR, 1FR, and we should also have grid template. Well, yeah.
Here, don't take off too much just yet.
Okay.
Template. Far.
Yeah, I mean that should work.
It should, but why is it not?
So let's
okay.
That.
Okay, it looks like
yeah, but the cat is staying. Oh wait, because you removed the.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, but it needs.
All right, to hold on, and then.
Cool. But our sliding layers are now gone.
Hey, thanks for following. Yeah, hold on. I'm not sure if it's refreshing.
Thanks for following Memphis 10, and thanks for the appreciation, Ahmed Adam or Ahmed Am 55. Hope I got that right.
H1 title. Let's see. Okay.
Okay, sort of, but
50%. Oh wait, I took off
there's
overflow.
Something not transforming that should be transformed.
No, it was just an overflow issue.
Aha, perfect.
There you go.
You got it. Or you got it, mostly.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to play a fun game?
Sure.
Okay, so in oh, you're gonna hate me. In CodePen's editor blah 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 .css file, like basically the style sheet that's responsible for this editor that we're working on. Let's play a guessing game. Guess how many position relative declarations there are in that style sheet.
Infinity?
No, a little lower.
Oh, the actual CodePen UI CSS.
Yes. Just the editor.css.
I'm gonna say 0 to 5.
Higher.
Yeah, probably more in the range of 200.
Lower.
Oh wow. 50.
Higher. It's 64 or 62. One of those numbers.
Okay. And with gzip that goes down to how many?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You know what?
Just saying. Just saying. All right. So we've got our basic transition here. One of the things, let's see. Really don't need the inner wrapper and all that. If we really didn't want to, there was a reason in my testing that that I had that, but hey,
yeah,
if we're optimizing, that's fine.
So let's see, where's the details. Details. Oops. Justify. All right, so flex direction.
What are you trying to do? You're just trying to center that content?
Center, yeah.
Yeah, then just use your grid, man. Go up, align, self, center.
And what a flex.
Boom.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that was a lot easier than my habit. So align self center.
Yeah.
So that's just for that grid row.
That's right. That's just for this this particular grid item. We could do align items center, and that would be fine. But if the content was long, that might throw off our image. Align items stretch, I think, is the default, but Ahmed is asking, normally CodePen doesn't reflect the changes of CSS or JS immediately. Is this different for pro users? That's actually a bug. I work at CodePen, and we're trying to track that down. There are just certain occasions where it's not updating properly, but in general, whenever you type something in the code panel, it should be reflected in the preview almost immediately. Hey, there you go. That's looking good. Let's go ahead and...
Yeah. I also want to give a little delay to the cat, because this is something that you see a lot in animations, and I'm guilty of this too. It's overlapping elements. Well, actually, all right, so in the original animation, there are overlapping elements anyway, but sometimes if you want a nice choreography, you'll see like a little bit of a delay. But in this case, okay, never mind. It's just all going at once. But that easing, that's something I want to take care of. Oh, you've already put my favorite ease on the roots. That's fantastic. That's just like going home and going to your parents, and they made your favorite meal, and you're just happy.
I got you.
Ready there.
I got you. Just settle in, slip on your slippers, and enjoy. It's all ready to go for you.
Awesome. All right, so that works. Okay, I just add the transition timing function to everything, just because I like putting things on star selectors for whatever reason. So, and let me ask you, how many hours were wasted typing all those position relatives? All right, never mind.
Uh, how many hours were wasted debugging why everything is position relative?
uh, not.
Uh-huh. All right. So we've got the basics of that in place. Let's see. You want to add in the fun little content transition when you get to the zoomed view?
Yeah, all right, so let's take a deeper look at what happens over there. So yeah, I like that a lot. The whole background. Just in general, when you see like full background animations, it's pretty nice. So I'm going to add a pseudo elements to the app. And because everything is position relative, I could just do, position absolute, first of all. Up 0, left 0, width 100%, height 100%. One trick, though, that I learned from, his name is Benjamin DeCock. He works over at Stripe, or at least he used to. I'm not sure if he works there anymore. I used to put display block on my pseudo elements, like before and after.
Yeah.
And now, normally you should do that, of course, because otherwise it's display inline, which you don't exactly want. But when you use position absolute, that makes the pseudo elements display block anyway, like just by default. So, save yourself a few bytes. Do that. Anyway, I'm gonna grab that color. It's a nice, whatever color that is. It's like a greenish gray. So background color, insert that in there. And so that should fill the screen.
What?
So I'm adding oh, sorry, should this be after? No. Yeah, something's covering it up.
Oh, right. And then you want top 50%.
Wait, why?
If you look at it only covers up half the screen
right.
there.
So, yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's going to slide up from the bottom there. So at its first stage, well, we could do that before over here. So, and before.
Mumbleu in the chat asks, hey, am I hearing a debate about applying position relative on all elements?
No, absolutely not. We're in complete agreement with that.
We never debate this. Never debate this at all.
Yeah, but I would love to hear your thoughts. My position is
relative.
Yeah, my position's relative. I am committing a grievous sin by putting position relative on everything, yet I continue to do so because I find no reason not to. Mm-hmm. And it's a secret for why I was able to make the crazy animal animations, because without position relative, you are in for a world of pain. And so,
yeah, I'm
now web pages are not animal animations though, but still, it's a habit that's sort of stuck.
I am warming to the idea, but
it's okay. You don't say. I mean, I wouldn't encourage it. I would though.
I think we were talking in chat earlier about if that had been the default, like from the very beginning of just web or CSS spec in general, I don't think anybody would have a problem with it, and it would be weird to think about it any other way.
Absolutely right.
But because that is not the default, we find ourselves in this situation.
Right.
Yeah, so Mumbleu in the chat, would there be any perf reasons? You've discussed that.
Nope, there's never a perf reason. Perf. All of the things that you've heard about perf is like all of these, I know, I'm trying to think of things that people usually say that are no longer true. So I heard the story. It's in parts of China, as part of their culture, and this is just a news story I read, it's considered good luck if you throw coins, like coins are considered good luck. So if you throw them at a plane, it's like wishing good travel. I'm not even joking. So,
Okay.
so there was a story on this, and apparently Chinese officials and the people who work at airports, they do not like this. I mean,
Why not?
for whatever reason, they don't like you throwing coins on the tarmac or at a plane or anything, and people get arrested for doing so. I mean,
Yes.
obviously. And so it's just one of those like superstitions that, you know. Anyway, superstitions in CSS involve things like data selector being slow, the everything selector, like the star selector being slow, CSS variables being slow, position relative being slow, all of these things. I encourage you, if you really, really believe that, measure it yourself. Have a site with it, have a site without it. You could even profile it, see how long it takes things to render, see how long layouts takes. And you're going to notice a very, very, very negligible difference because it's simply not true anymore. The browsers have optimized their engines enough so that kind of thing doesn't matter. And there's so many other things you will do that will cause a much bigger performance impact than little things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm making a long duration variable, and that's for, so the title goes up pretty quickly, but the cat stretches out into a full grown cat, and the the before thing, yeah, also takes a bit of time. So transition duration.
Mambo Leah was also asking about position relative, creating a new stack context. David had a lot of opinions about this.
And I even have a quick one to show.
Yeah,
but anyway,
that's a good example of, again, this would have been a great default of, you know, everything being kind of its own stacking context. But there's so many different variables or different properties that cause a stacking context.
Yeah, so fun exercise. I want you in the chat, whoever is listening, watching.
Or in
Let's
the
see if you
comments
can
down
name
below.
all. Yeah, let's see if you can name all the properties without cheating. No cheat. That could cause a stacking context, and bonus points if you correctly identify the properties that will cause position relative without explicitly being position relative, because there's a lot of them. Actually, I'll submit a few.
Yeah, we got opacity. That's one of them.
I add one just to help give people ideas. If you add will change transform, which means if you don't even transform something, if you add it might transform, then that causes position relative to basically happen on that element. And even doing something like transform, translate C, or translate 000. I don't know. That will also do the trick. Also, mixed blend mode, believe it or not. There's a few other things too.
Okay, I think we're running into an issue.
Yeah, I had my.
Well,
wait, why did I do calc fair long?
No, I did that. I think that's a, yeah, that might be an issue here.
Well, no, I'm still getting the same time for that.
Right. See, I'm not seeing a difference, but it should be delayed. But it's not. I think there's just like funky stuff that happens with the. Let's see. Bar creation. Let's just see.
Actually, all right. You know what we could do? Check this out. Sorry, I just deleted all your stuff. We could say duration 2 seconds, and that's going to override all of the duration. And so over here we could just cut that in half. So transition duration. Oh, actually, check it out. This is the power of CSS variables. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's an interesting effect. It does make some some oddities. So Ahmed in the chat's asking, are you changing the width of the image when it's large? And no, we are only using transforms here. I've got a border on the outer. Let's do a border on the inner, and then a border on the image itself. All right, so this red border right here is the .hero figure, and then the blue border right here is the inner hero, and then a green border, which I'm not really even seeing because it's probably cut off, is mostly what's happening, is the hero image.
Okay.
So then, whoa.
I'm playing around with the.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, all of the layers are kind of sliding on top of each other at the same time. So it basically creates a little bit of a window that you're seeing the image through, and then the image itself is moving at the same time so that you get that kind of beautiful sliding effect that makes it look like it's changing sizes, but it is not. All right, so what are you hacking away at down here? Let's see. Mambo Leo saying opacity and transform do create a new stacking context, but doesn't really apply position relative.
Transform does. Transform does. Opacity, maybe not.
Well,
but
he's right. Opacity doesn't, but it does trigger any element within that being locked into that stacking context. So yeah, that's what he's saying there. But you can't say like opacity 0.5 and top 100% on
I made a
that
code
same
10
element.
just for this occasion.
There we go. And then let's do a big caption.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the nice like ease out motion. But the title should not be having, so I need a nice ease out. About SEA. We should do a thing where we see 5011 maybe. No, 0.50.
Hey, thanks for following.
10. Yeah, that might work out better. Or even 0.2. 010. Basically trying to make it go quickly away.
Whoa.
1, 5. Oh, wow, I'm a dummy. I'm like, why isn't the easing changing? And I haven't really applied it anywhere.
Yeah, that's
so.
That's
the
isn't it just ease? Oh yeah. There we go. You might want it on the opposite, like that might need to be on the data state small. Either way.
No, it's correct over there, I think. 0.2011 might lessen that effect. Or 1.5. Anyway, I'm wondering, and maybe people could tell me in the chat, but how I'm wondering how many people get mystified when they have to type a cubic Bezier. because if you think about it, number one, there's this weird math term. You have cubic, and then you have this weird French term, Bezier, which that's just the name of a person. It's not a French term. And then you have 4 weird decimal numbers. So I could just imagine that that's, I mean, it was to me at first. I had no idea what those numbers meant, but I think Leah Baru, I believe, or was it Valhead, made a easing tool that helped you visualize. I'm going to find it. Here we go. Yep, Leah Baru. So I will post it over here.
Yes.
Yeah, so cubicbezier.com. And so you can imagine both points, the pink one being the first 2 numbers and the teal one being the last 2 numbers. And both of those refer to X and Y coordinates of those numbers. And so that's why the reason that I like 0.50, 0.51 is, number one, it's perfectly symmetrical. Number two, you ease in and ease out at the same rate, and everything goes to 0. It's like a nice flat tangent. And number 3, it resembles a sine curve. And so that's going to get you natural motion, just because the way things work in physics and just natural life is all based on sine curves, because sine is based on a circle, and circles are perfect, I guess. So I don't know. There's a reason for it. But everything else is unnatural.
Y%.
Oh, so you're making it slide out from the bottom?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, let's see what other fun little details we could add. And of course that happens like right after. Or like,
yeah,
a few seconds delay.
That'll get a little delay.
Mm-hmm. And so that clipping effect that you see, I believe that that's basically the same thing that we used in previous episodes as well. Or literally the previous episode. Where we have 2 elements. We have one which is responsible for hiding for clipping the element that's inside, and then the other one being the actual elements inside. So by the way, now you'll have to click 3 times because I'm adding a larger state, because because we need to go larger.
Go big or go home, I always say.
Mm-hmm. And that's for the third. So when you click the video, it sort of goes, it expands further,
right?
As if it didn't expand far enough, So let's just see how this is laid out. So we have the hero, and so now that's basically going to have to stretch past the app. Trying to figure out how we're going to make that work. Whatever, we'll just do it manually. But there is overflow hidden. So I wonder if we could just scale it. Let's just scale it for now. And then, yeah. Larger. And so we have hero transform scale 1.2. Let's see what that does. Okay, that works.
Mm-hmm.
That does the trick. Duration. We'll also make this 1 second too. Looking good. Well, I sort of do want to get that play button in there, so YOLO, let's do it. Gonna get a play button in there.
Go for it. I'm gonna
content. Is there a play?
I'm gonna change our state to large, and I'm gonna change this to small, medium, and large for clarity.
But small, large, and larger is so idiomatic.
Is it?
It totally is. Like when you go to Starbucks, you ask for a small coffee, a large coffee, or a larger coffee. You know, they hand you a coffee and you say, no, I want larger. You don't say, I want, I don't know, venti or grande or whatever they say.
Mediumer.
So.
Let's see. I mess up.
No, that's me messing up, if anything.
Did you mess up my hero details?
Yep. I didn't mess up anything.
Don't believe you.
It was you. Okay. Sure. Line item center, and then so that play button is way too small. Oh, quick tip to getting a perfect circle, if some of you didn't know, which is fine. I didn't know this until, well, I sort of always knew this. Not always, but yeah. If you set the border radius to the same as the height or the width, basically anything more than half of its width, then you're going to get perfect circle. Or at least perfectly circular, rounded border radius. So.
Nope.
50%.
You stop it.
Well,
you stop it.
No. Fine.
Oh, you
do
need the you do need the flex in there, but yeah, we can center with.
But what I'd like to do is I'd like to add a size variable. Then you could do their size over here, and then you could have this size, and then so we could change this 5 to, let's say, 15. Ah, way too big. 10. And then we could set the font size to
size divided by 2.
Yeah.
So vmin is just a variable or a value, a property. What am I saying? A value that is viewport relative. Vmin represents the smallest of either width or height of the viewport. You can also use VW for viewport width, VH for viewport height, Vmax for whichever is the largest, or Vmin for whichever is the smallest.
Yeah, and Miriam Suzanne has a great article on this, playing around with viewport units. So you could think of the viewport height. If you divide it in 100 bits or 100 pieces, then one of those pieces is 1 VH. Same thing with the width. One of those pieces, which is the subdivided, viewport width, is 1 VW. The bigger of those is Vmax. The smaller of those is Vmin.
Yes. So. Okay. Let's see. I messed up something with my hero details. Transform, translate. What's that?
Oh, I should put that play button in an actual element. That's okay.
It's never too late to start now.
Apologize.
Okay, I don't.
Just do that, and then I'll just add a play. Let's see, where is the hero yet? The fun part about this one is that we didn't have to, we did not have to make different scenes or different layers, and that's because we're basically reusing the same elements. So.
Okay, so we're in medium. Where that at?
Never mind. All right, so now everything goes on this before because we're using the play just as a wrapper. Okay, this is gonna work out great. Oh,
fake caption.
there.
Here's my hero details.
And then we could do 100% with 100%, and then this margin goes away over here.
99% of debugging CSS is fixing typos.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
There it is. Hey, how about that? All right. Good gravy. Yes, thank you for pointing that typo out in the chat. Goodness. That's going to be some exciting replay content there. Everybody's just going to be shouting at the screen. Okay, I'm going to do that graph really quick while you're doing the
play button.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's gonna be sweet. I like that little kind of loader bar looking thing. So we'll do graph.
Form translate y 100%. Oh wait. Before. Of course, yeah, the key to having the clipping is that overflow hidden property. That just gives you a really nice effect, and we saw that last episode with the text animation that we did. So yeah, all right, let's see. This is gonna transition, transform, transform is a very easy keyword to mistype.
Yes,
it's pretty bad. Okay, so now when we're in the medium state, this dot play should have a transition delay of just the duration. And so that's a way to give it like sort of a, nope, didn't do that. Oops, before. Give it that staggered or that choreographed effect. So if you don't have time to add some real choreography, you could just let's see, transition delay. Why is it just popping up? That is weird. My play button, transition, transform, var duration, var easing.
Huh. That is very fast, I guess. Is that what's happening?
Not, well, yeah, it's just immediately showing up, and I think I have an idea why. Nope, I don't have any idea why. All right, let's see. For small, it should translate y 100%, and for medium, it should translate y, let's say 90%. Let's see what happens. And I should also have that transition delay. Yay, animation debugging.
Yay.
And that's why, honestly, the if you open up DevTools and you look at the animation panel, that's usually what helps me out, gets me through rough times. So now I could see that this play before has no duration. Ah, okay. That's weird.
Did you get that blue in a variable or anywhere?
I did not. I didn't even know that this thing had blue.
Yeah, there's a nice little, let's see. Sip. Slurp.
So weird. Okay, cool. All right, so now our play button shows up like right after it's done animating. So now let's see what the next part of that is. You click play, it has a, wow, that is a really cool effect on the play button, you know, when you click it.
Right, the way it...
Just, all right, why can't I want to adjust the speed on this because it's so cool and I want to see it in slow motion, but you can't do that with videos. Or you could if you had the right.
If you download it, it works much better.
No, I'm just gonna keep doing it in my browser and pressing spacebar or something.
Sure, that'll do it.
Super cool. All right, trying to think how I could do that. I have an idea.
Oh, do tell.
So, well, I'm trying to think if I could do this in a pseudo element. I probably cannot, though. Actually, no, I probably can. It's going to be really, really sort of tricky, but you know what? I'm going to play around with it just because I have the idea spinning in my head. So I'm going to make the size of the play button, bear with me, I'm going to make it 12 vmin. And that means that my height and width are going to just shrink to 90. And then I have to, let's just do outline 1 pixel solid. See what happens there. Okay, now it's not perfectly center. I guess I could have used my align self-center, but whatever. And then so this one becomes what, 80% maybe. All right, that'll work. And so for play, I also give it a border radius of their size. So let's change this outline to border and see what happens there. Not seeing anything.
Yeah, something.
Oh,
broke.
It's because it's border, not border. Oh,
hey.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right, so that black border represents my outline, and it represents that because it's already overflow hidden. Well, let me see if it still looks nice at least. It'll be fine. This is one of our stylistic takes where in the original animation it was coming off from a flat thing, but now having it come from a circular thing. So the border is actually there just for illustrative purposes because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to add an after pseudo elements. And that's going to be contents position absolute and top 0 left 0. And I'm going to have a border of like 4 vmin solid blue. Do you have that in a variable somewhere?
The blue is just var blue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so a nice circular. Do you sort of see where I'm going with this?
I think so.
Okay, so now this after elements, when we're in the play state, we have this dot play after. It's going to be transform scale. Well, it's going to be opacity 0. Oops. Opacity 0, transform scale 0.1. And then in the medium, or wait, actually no, not in the play state, in the medium state. So, and then in the large state, that play after is going to scale to like 2 or something crazy. So hopefully I have added the transition stuff there. Maybe I haven't. There we go.
Hey.
Oh, no, it just goes large. Oh, wait. What did I do wrong?
That looks nice. It's getting there.
I don't have it on the correct state though. Wait, so my play after should be transform scale 2. And I am in the large state, but it's not transforming to scale. Oh wait, because I have opacity 0. Why did I do that? I'm like, why am I not seeing it? It's because of the... It's because scale this to something crazy like scale 5, then it goes through the hole. It's like, like taking a photo of the black hole. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like we can't see it because it just disappears. But of course we want to, yeah, so let's see. So large transform scale 5, and then here we could, let's just get rid of the opacity and see what happens. Okay. And yeah, and maybe I want the duration a little bit longer. So seconds. And then that should be opacity 0. Then this dot play after transform scale 5, of course, still opacity 0. Well, that's looking good. So transform, fair, and then opacity 0 seconds. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
I broke something.
Oh, wait a minute. Too slow. Just do transform to 0. Well, so 0.
Go.
Oh, okay. So property, transform opacity, transition duration, 10 seconds. Okay, that should work. Have you ever noticed how sort of weird it is that for transition transition property and transition duration, when you have more than one property, it's like you're making a mini table within your style sheet.
Yeah.
Because everything just has to be the correct order. And it's a little bit weird. Okay. I like that.
All right, let me see.
So now we take off the border. Oh, forgot about that. So when we're playing, obviously the play button should go away because no one wants to see that.
Right. Get out of the play button.
No problem. No problem.
Ooh, yeah, that's looking good.
All right, so yeah, when it's in full, we should have, let's see, dot play before, transform, y, 100%. Oops, negative 100%. There we go. Oops, now it should be like negative 120% or something like that. And then transition delay of, actually no, yeah, there should be a transition delay. duration times 3.75. Maybe.
It's feeling pretty good. You're
Sort
trying
of,
to eliminate where it pops back.
yeah, so I think we could do that by
just do an opacity.
No, transition duration 0 seconds
Or
for the
visibility.
play before. Just because thinking about the transitions, going from large to small, there's no transition anyway, because it should be effectively gone. And so that seems to work. I'm not happy with just how slow some of the things are. So I did this calc var duration times 0.5, and that just, half of the yeah, transition delay. Yeah, so instead of having a delay of the duration, we do it of half the duration, so that way we get a little bit of a stagger. That looks pretty nice. Now the play, we want ease to be there, ease out, and same thing with the before over here. So we could just add that to the top.
Where are you?
I'm in the States. Actually, no, I'm not in the States. I'm in Finland, but I'm in the data states.
Yeah, I get you.
No, I'm doing times 0.5. Let's do that too. Oh, maybe not.
Let's see.
That's weird. My play button sort of disappears immediately on that one state. No, it doesn't.
Looks fine over here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's looking real good. I think we can wrap this one up here.
Yeah.
Are you good?
I am. Yeah, I am satisfied.
Awesome. Well, I think it is time to transition to Keyflections. A quick review of the techniques we use to build this animation. If you have any questions, ask us in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer.
Yeah, and if you've enjoyed watching Shaw so far, because I'm invisible, you can follow and subscribe here on Twitch or YouTube, or you could pledge at patreon.com/keyframers. The more you pledge, the more you see my face. That's the deal. I don't make the rules.
Okay. Well, see, we want people to keep pledging, David. We don't want them to take their pledges
so that
away.
They don't see my face. Okay, I got it.
Right.
Maybe
we can set up reward tiers. Vote on how much you want to see David's face.
It's okay. I'm gonna wear a mask next time.
Okay, so going back into what we're actually building here. This is Better Hero by Gene Ross on Dribble. And it's a lovely little animation. Let's play and hide the controls there. We've got basically 3 different states. We've got the general overview with the details, and then we have the kind of full expanded view with a few extra elements, and then the full screen view happening there. So we took a few liberties with it and made it our own. This is our website about relieving stress naturally through the power of kittens. So we've got
our puppies, but
our 3 states there. beautifully transitioning from one to the other. And we're not even using flip.
No, we're not. We don't need to.
Yep, this is just all CSS here. So let's take a look at the HTML structure. There's really not much going on, which is awesome. So we've got this data state attribute that's going to be controlled by the JavaScript. We'll start that out on the small, and then div details is this this just text chunk here, and then hero is our image plus all the other little pieces of the image. So we have an inner wrapper around the actual image. We've got a div for our play button, and then we have a fig caption for the little pieces that come up. All right, so what would you like to cover first, David?
So let's we could quickly review how we get all the states. So we have 3 states.
Yes.
Small, medium, and large. And we have a little state machine that shows, I mean, this is just an object. Like, don't just forget I even call it a state machine, but just, it's an object, okay? It is useful to know that this is called a state machine though. But we start on the small state and then we go from small, and then it's just an object lookup. So if you want to know what the next one is, you just look up the small state, figure out what event happened, like a click, and then you get your next state. And so I could change this, for example, we could change behavior really easily. So let's say that instead of going from medium to large on a click, I do it whenever I press the play button. Then we could just do play and then we could just do state play. So now it's only when you click the play button does it go to the large. Notice that? Oh, wait a minute.
Might just have some Z indexing. It might be overlaid a little bit. Let's see. Play button. Yeah. Let me try just bumping up the Z index. Do you have the play element? Okay, yes.
I do. What did I do wrong?
Click. State. Let's do a quick console.log. Play clicked. State.
Yay, debugging during the view. This is why you don't live code.
I would recommend. Okay. So it's going back. Well, let's see. It's on medium. Going to.
Oh, okay. So just kidding. Well, what's happening is that it's just going.
Oh, because you're doing L.
So both of these are
right.
So so what you could do is e.prevents default, or I think it's e.stop propagation.
Yes.
Because when you click so this has nothing to do with state machines, but when you click the play button, it's also clicking the app as well. So now it should work.
Yes. But we need to make that lplay not clickable once it's expanded, or just make sure that large play small as well. That should do it without having to adjust much else. Yeah, there we go. That works.
And so so our transition just does that object lookup for us. So we look at what's our current state. You could use a switch statement for this too. It just takes so much more typing. Or you could use an if statement, which also takes a lot of typing, or you could use ternaries, which takes a lot of typing. So I'm just trying to save you some time. Just use this object format and just do a simple object lookup that says what's the next state given the current state and the event. Then we have this activate helper function where we take the current data state and
that's really all that needs to happen.
Yeah, we actually don't. Yeah, so don't worry about the rest. We don't need it for this.
We do that in other episodes, so you can check some of our other episodes out if you want to learn more about that. Yeah, that's what I was just about to add. Here.
Yeah.
So now,
check this out.
When you click outside, it goes back to small. But when you click
did you
the play
see how
button,
quick it was to do that?
It's beautiful.
Just add it to the state machine, and then
Yes,
You have new behavior.
I
Sorry,
do.
I'm very overzealous about this.
You are,
But anyway,
but
so
it's
so
okay.
that's how the states work. We're basically changing only the data states at the top. So it goes from small to medium to large. And then in our CSS, we target each of those data states and we apply styles based on each state.
Right. And this way, you've got some good separation of concerns. You've got your JavaScript logic that's actually toggling things, and then you have your HTML that's pretty static, displaying each of the states. And then in your CSS, you're actually controlling what's being viewed, what everything looks like when it's in a certain state. So I think that's a nice way to break things up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's very nice, David. I like that. All right.
Good.
So going through the CSS real quick, we've got a bunch of CSS variables on the root that are just overall the variables we're using throughout. We do a lot more with CSS variables in other episodes. Last week's episode was a good one with CSS variables. For our app, we've got display grid just to give us this kind of two-column layout where our details is over here. But we actually have our hero image spanning both columns. So if we look at this state, this is actually the full expanded image. We're just faking that it looks that it's smaller by the sliding layers technique. So there's actually 3 different layers for our hero image. Let's just go ahead and add in pixel red for hero, and then hero image. We'll add blue, and then let's add yellow for the image. So you can see this red is hanging off the edge here, and the blue is cutting off here, and the yellow is right inside of there. The way that we get that happening, hero is translated over 50%. That's why it's starting kind of at this column here. Hero image is translated back the opposite way. So hero image moved over 50%. The inner column there is shifted over the other way, so that you're still seeing kind of the main part of the image. But if we didn't do anything else, the image would be cut off in a weird way. So we do the hero image, translate X 25%, so that now it's centered within that off-put angle of the off-put position of the transformed
Right.
layers. Yeah.
Another way to visualize this is if you and we can't do it here because we can't see the debug view, or at least I can't, but if you open up the layers panel, then you could visually see the layers in 3D sliding. So it's pretty cool.
Yes. I don't think I have that.
Do you have debug mode?
Of just the in itself. Yeah, I should be able to pull that up, but I can't access the address bar right now because Chrome is stupid and full screen. So, anyway, walk us through your play button here.
Okay, so utilizing the same states that we set up, small, medium, and large, it was pretty straightforward to just make a play button, which this was a fun little exercise. I'm still not too happy with the actual play text element. Like it should, there's no, I don't know. I need a better triangle. That's all I'm looking for. But anyway, we used, this is sort of akin to the sliding layers too, except that, well, we're not really. But we have the outer layer, which is a container for this play button. And the play button is itself a pseudo element. And it's a pseudo element so that it could give the illusion of being cut off when it slides in from the bottom of that parent element. And by the way, it's positioned just the way we want it because of position relative, but don't worry about that. Now, to get the cool blue ring effect, that's actually another pseudo element, and that pseudo element is just a big rounded border radius. And so you can think about it as a donut. And when we go from one state to the next, that donut expands using transform scale 5. And so because we already have the overflow hidden applied, that's going to go out of view pretty quickly. But it's going to give us that really cool effect. So that's a play button for you.
That's right. Just fixing real quick, keeping those details out of view until you go back to the main view. Got it. Cool. All right. And then, yeah, we're doing a similar sort of thing with the hero details. I've just got an overflow hidden div and then an inner div inside of that that's translated off. So that cuteness 11 out of 10, how that's clipped and comes in, that's done in the same way, just via the transforms down here. And then our graph element is just pretty straightforward here. It's half the width of the container. Okay, thanks for following. And then we've got two pseudo elements on there. They're both basically filling the parent element, and they're both translated X off to the side. So again, another kind of sliding layer with that overflow hidden idea. The before element's got a repeating linear gradient, which gives that awesome little diagonal line, which I think is actually the opposite way in the original, but whatever. And then the after is actually a little bit wider and is offset from the top, so you get that that layered look. And let's see, what else is there?
There is absolutely nothing else.
I think that is everything. That's the sum of all knowledge, at least as we know it.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's do that a couple more times because it's good looking. All right. Well, that's all I've got, David.
Yeah.
Shall we bring this to a close?
Let's slide it closed. Or I try to make a pun. Sorry, it's like 1:30 in the morning here. I can't think.
You're doing great, David. I'm so proud of you.
I'm doing the best I can. Just like that kitten.
That's right. So, you've been watching Keyframers. If you've enjoyed this episode and would like to see more from David and I, there are many ways you can support us. First of all, pledging at patreon.com/keyframers to see more or less of David's face, depending. Just leave in the notes what you want to see there. That's the best way to help us out. You can also subscribe and participate in the live streams each week here on Twitch. You can also catch this video available for replay on youtube.com/keyframers. Go ahead and subscribe over there. We'll have all of our episodes there for your enjoyment as well.
And we accept submissions for future episodes, so tweet at Keyframers with any animations you would like to see made. Nothing is impossible.
That's right.
I think don't quote me on that. You can also present questions or challenges to us that we will try to answer on the air. And please share this video.
Yeah.
And the code pen once it comes out.
That's right. But that's all we've got for you this week. David, go get some sleep, and
I will.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Until next time, adios, amigos.